Ho yomid noch nafshi the Rebbe. The day that Rebbe passed away, is Rebbe Yudah Nossi, very top. Goes Rabbanan Taneso. They decree that everybody has to fast. Uboy Rachmi. Bo Rachmi. And they prayed. V'omru. Kol madom enoch nafshi the Rebbe Yudoki Bechorim. You know this? They said anybody who says, who even puts out the word the Rebbe passed away, meaning people say, what's the point? He's already holding at the end. Why pray for him? Meaning anybody who causes any degree of despair that people shouldn't pray, he deserves to be pierced with a sword. That's what they said. Slika Amsi the Rebbe, Ligro. The Amsi the Rebbe, she was a special, this was the maidservant of the Rebbe, was a special woman. Omro, and she said, she went out to the roof, she said, El Yoni Mevakshim is Rebbe. The angels wanted Rebbe. The Tachtonim Vakshim is Rebbe. And the Chachomim want Rebbe. Because they're praying that he should live. I mean, he's between life and death, Rebbe. He wrote and she called for Tachtonim El Yoni. She prayed. Let the ones on the terrestrial level, let them overwhelm the ones on the celestial level. The Malochim came the Chazoi Kama Zimni Daila Bisakisi B'cholet Tfilin Umanachlu. She saw, you know, she took care of Rebbe's needs. She was his maidservant, and she saw that every time he went to do, he died. He had very serious stomach issues, so he would have to take off his tefillin and put it back. And he saw what kind of pain he was every time he took off the tefillin, put back the tefillin. Omra. So she said, Yirotza shikofel yonam astachtonim. Should be the will of Hashem that the ones from above should overwhelm the ones from below. Meaning he should be taken. V'lavishaski rabbonon v'liboy rachmi. But as long as the chacham they're being mispalel, he's not passing away, Rebbe. So what did she do? Shokla, she's on the roof. Shokla kuza shajami igro laro ishtiku irachmi. So she took like a flower pot. She took a vessel made of earthenware, threw it from the roof, smashed it, right near where they were being mispalel. So they were stunned for a moment. So when they were stunned, they stopped praying. At that moment, the Noch Nafshid Rebbe passed away. Because they stopped being mispalel, there was that lapse for a moment. Rebbe passed away. Omrole Rabbon Bak, but they didn't know. Because Rebbe went to do his bodily function, took his tefillin. They didn't know he didn't pass away. Omrole Rabbon Bak Zil Ayin. So they said to Bar Kappara, was a close student of Rebbe. They said, why don't you go check, see how Rebbe is doing. Ozal Ashche Dunoch Nafshe. He came, he saw Rebbe passed away. He wasn't alive. Kari Levushe, he went into a kriya immediately. Vahadri Lekari Lachore, and he like concealed the tear. Because, you know, a person's not supposed to make public when a tragedy happens. You shouldn't be the bearer of bad news. So he didn't want, if he comes out with his garment torn, that means he's the bearer of bad news. Posach v'omar, and he said, all he says, Elim umitzukim, orzu boren hakodesh, nitzchu elim es hamitzukim. He says, the powerful ones and the oppressed ones, they're both holding on to the holy ark. But nitzchu elim es hamitzukim. But the angels, the strong ones, they overpowered the mitzukim, the oppressed ones. The nishba aron hakodesh, and the aron hakodesh was taken captive. So they understood from that statement that Rebbe passed away. Omrulei noch nabshei. So they said to him, you mean to say Rebbe passed away? Omrulu atun kamriso. Vanodo kamino. You're saying it, I didn't say it. Meaning he alluded to what happened, but he didn't actually verbally. He says, you're saying it. B'shas Pitorsha Rebbe Zokav Ese Etzbosov, this very famous Gemara. As Rebbe was about to pass away, Zokav Ese Etzbosov Klapi Mali lifted his 10 fingers towards heaven. Omar Ribonu Shalom Goliv Yadul Fanecho. It's revealed and known to you. Shiogati Besatz B'osai B'Torah. I toiled my 10 fingers in Torah. That means every aspect of my being was fully invested in Torah. And I didn't even benefit from this world even as much as my small finger. That's how I had no benefit from this world. It should be your will that when I pass away, I should pass away with shalom, with peace. Yotze Basko Vomro. So as soon as he passed away, a Basko, a heavenly voice came out and said, Yovu Shalom, Yonuch al Mishkvosam. Let peace come, and they should lie on their beds. Right? So the Gemara asks, Al Mishkovcho, Yiboy. What is Al Mishkvosam? What if on their, when they're lying, that's plural. It's Shei Al Mishkovcho. Besides the Reb Chia Bagamda, this supports Reb Chia Bagamda. Reb Chia Bagamda, Omer Reb Yossi ben Shol. Reb Chia Bagamda says name Reb Yossi ben Shol. B'shosha tzadik niftim in olam. When a tzadik passes away from this world, omrim balchei hashos l'yakodesh baruch hu. So the angels say to Hashem, Ribono shel olam, Master of the universe, tzadik ploni bo, such and such a tzaddik is coming. Omar lem yavot tzadikim v'yetzu l'krosos. Hashem says, let all the tzaddikim go and greet the tzaddik. The tzaddik that's coming, he should be greeted. So where are these tzaddikim coming from? They're coming from their location. So they're leaving their location, their mishkav, to go to greet the tzaddik. V'omrim, and what do they say to tzaddikim? Yovel b'sholom, yonuchu al mishkvosam. He should come b'sholom, and then they go back to their mishkavos. So therefore it's the plural, it's mishkvosam. When a tzaddik leaves this world, there are three groups of angels that go out to greet him. Achas omeres lo bo b'shalom. Achas omeres lo holech nicho. Rashi, what's holech nicho? He should travel a straight path. Achas omeres yovu shalom yenuchal mishkvosam. B'shosha rosha nevad min olam. When a Russia is lost from the world, he's lost because what? He can't do tshuva once he dies. He's lost. Sholosh kiti shel malchei chavola yotzis l'kroso. Three groups of accosting angels go out to greet him. Achsomeres ein shalom. He says there's no peace. Omer Hashem the Rishon v'achsomeres l'matzeva yishkav, meaning he should lie in dread. In dread. Achsomeres redov hashkiva serelim. Go down and you should put those who are they're covered, those who have the foreskin. Okay, now we're getting back to halacha. Kol zman she bebeis avia, right? Let's say she's widowed, so we say she has a right to collect the ksuba. We said earlier, as long as she didn't remarry, the estate has to support her. They have to give her food. Kol zman she bebeis avia govik ksubasa laolam. Here, if she's in her father's house, she could collect the ksuba forever. Meaning, even as many years pass, she has the document. The ksuba wasn't paid off. Kol zman she beis bala, but let's say she's widowed and she stays in the house of her husband. So when she's in the house of her husband, what? They have to feed her. There's a chance that while she was there, let's say poor people came. She actually gave away the food and salt, whatever people came. So the amount of money she gave away was the equivalent of the ksuba. Okay? Govik subasa ad esem chamishanim, because we make an evaluation that with over 25 years, basically she depleted the ksuba. The amount of money she gave away was the equivalent of what the value of the ksuba was. Sheyesh b'chavei shanim shetasa tova keneg ksubasa divrei Meir. Meir says the amount of chesed you do. You say there's an expression in Yiddish, a tzaddik on somebody else's cheshbon. She's been given away. She's kind, but whose money is she giving away? She's given away from the estate. So they made an evaluation. It takes about 25 years of doing a little salt, a little this. Over 20 years, basically, your ksuba has been paid out. That's Rameir's position. As long as she's in her husband's house, govik subos la'olam, forever. Meaning, one thing has nothing to do with another. But if she's in her father's house, govik subos aresim chamishanim. Why? Because we say, after 25 years, why don't you collect? It's an indication you were mochil. The person has a debt, and you have a right to make a claim. 25 years pass, enough time has passed, you should have asked for the money. That, you didn't ask for the money after 25 years, that's an indication that you waived the debt. Okay, you're a creditor. Mesa, what about she dies? You're sharid maskiruk suboso, ares b'chomishonim. Yes, they have a right to claim, meaning like this. Let's say she 5 years passed, 10 years passed, and she didn't claim the ksuba. So we say she waived the ksuba. What about she dies after 10 years, being widowed? Now her heirs come into the picture. Does the clock continue from the 10 years, so they have another 15 years, or the clock starts over again? From when they come into the picture, we start counting again 25 years. Because they're new creditors. We don't say they took over the debt of the mother. If the woman doesn't collect the ksuba for 25 years, that's an indication she waived it. But let's say she passed away after 15 years. After 15 years, they have an additional 25 years, the heirs, to collect the ksuba. Amalei Abaye, the Rav Yosef. So Rabbi says to Rav Yosef, doesn't make sense. He said 25 years, a woman she doesn't collect, she's a poor woman. She needs the money. Give it 25 years, it's away. No, he says, Rameir says 25 years it takes to get the plea of ksuba. Because we say the amount of chesed she does, she depleted the estate, the equivalent of the ksuba. So a poor woman, we say it's equivalent of ksuba. Marsa Barbaitus, we're talking about she was a very wealthy woman. Her ksuba was a fortune. So with her also, we say 25 years, the ksuba is depleted. If the Aniyah, it's 25 years. Marsa Barbaitus, her ksuba was endless times more. So we should go more than 25 years. So on that tomorrow answer something interesting. Lefum gam l'shichno. According to the camels, it's load. You understand, when a poor person does chesed, you do it in a very limited way. When a rich person does chesed, it's done very generously. So based on who you are, it takes about 25 years. So the level that Marsa Barbaitus did chesed took from the estate, it was the equivalent of the ksuba, which is larger ksuba, because it's a whole different mindset. You know, a person's much more generous when they're wealthy. Iboilu. Remeir Marsha Teshalish Teku. Now, an interesting shayla. We say, let's say she collects the ksuba after 15 years. Do we prorate the ksuba? So we said she doesn't give it away all at one time, correct? It takes 25 years to deplete the amount of money of the ksuba. So let's say she wants to collect ksuba after 15 years. Do we prorate it and say, well, you have 10 years left, you'll get that percentage of the ksuba? Of course, we say the first 15 years you already gave away from the estate that equivalent of the ksuba. You had a question? Teku. On that, the Gemara leaves it unresolved. Tishbi Torah Skushas Abayis. We have to wait for Leo to come to resolve that one. Norman, you had a question? Again, we say a woman, when she collects a ksuba, remeir, she has, after 25 years, she doesn't get the ksuba. We say she depleted it, because the chesed she did over the years, that was the equivalent of the ksuba. So we're asking, let's say she wants to collect the ksuba 10 years after she's widowed. So 10 years after she was doing chesed for 10 years, what was she doing chesed? From a husband's estate. So maybe we should prorate the ksuba and say, look, it takes 25 years to deplete the whole thing. So do we deduct 10 years worth of chesed, and she's not going to get the ksuba? Or do we say, no, Chazal said after 25 years, that's when, only when it's fully depleted, that's when you don't get the whole ksuba. But if it's not fully depleted, then you get the full ksuba. How exactly did they say it? On that, Gemara leaves it unresolved. Okay, Teku. Chama ben no. Chama say, as long as she's in her husband's house, she has a right to collect the ksuba. Omale Abaydo Rav Yosef. Asoi Kodim Shkias. Then we have a question. The Chachomim say, yeah, that if she's in her father's household, she has 25 years. Yeah? If she's in her father's household, so now he has them an interesting shayla. Up to 25 years, you get the ksuba. So let's say 25 years is up right at sundown. It's interesting. If you collected a moment before sundown, you have the ksuba. You let a moment pass beyond sundown, then you cancel it. Because we say that's in the case you waived it. Chum say you waived the ksuba. Because once you collect, so Abai says, you mean 1 minute or a few minutes makes a difference whether you waive it or you don't waive it? That's his question. If she comes before sundown, it's the anniversary of 25 years. Right before sundown, she'll get the ksuba. By purta achilto, that small amount of time, that determines whether she waived it or not. Sir Rav Yosef says, yes. Kol midas chachomim kenhi. That's what chachomim give an amount of time. It's exactly at that moment. For instance, barboim so tovel, barboim so chose kurtav. What's a mikveh? A mikveh is exactly 40 so. If it's lacking even much as a very small amount, less than 40 so, it's not a valid mikveh. Amr Rabbi Yudam Heid Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi Lefnei Rebbe. Rabbi Shmuel said, attested before Rebbe. Shom Mishamovi said the name of his father, Rabbi Yossi. Lo shana la she'ein shtar ksuba yotzim dachus yodeo. Hear this? When do we say she waives the ksuba? That's only if she doesn't have a document. Avol shtar ksuba yotzim dachus yodeo gov ksuba slolam. The Chacham say, when do we waive it? That's only if she doesn't. It's only based on the Tanai Bezdin. You have to pay ksuba. But if she retained the document, that means she's not letting go. Otherwise, she would have torn up the document. Not destroying the documentation that she did not waive it. Okay? Rabbi Loza argues, and he says no, that even if the ksuba is intact, 25 years passed, it's what? It expires. The ksuba expires. Mosif Rav Sheishes, it says, Balchov Govish Lo Baskoro. Yeah, a balchov. You have a balchov, meaning a creditor. A creditor collects, even though let's say you have a debt, you owe me money. 25 years pass. If I didn't collect it, is that an indication I let it go? If you're a creditor, even if more than 20, I never said a word. It's not I had to go like restate my claim. Even if I didn't say a word, I have a right to collect forever on that debt. And if you have a person has an heir, his heir can collect on that debt. If he didn't have a document to prove the debt that he was a creditor, right? But my govis, how could he collect? The man denies he owes the money. What are we speaking? He has a shtar. So balchovu delav barachulihu. It's only a balchov, not ha'amana achilto. But if an almana, even with the document, she waives it. So you see, it's not like Reb Shmuel saying the name of his father. Who most of the answer is very simply. He asked the question. He answers, "Lolam lo noket shtar." What's meaning? There's no document. The debtor agree. He admits he owes the money. So do we say that after 25 years is the debt waived? So we say if it's creditor not, the woman yes. Ivom Rabbelah Shoni and Grusha. We learned Grusha, a woman's a divorcee. Harika Balaschov. A Grusha, a woman's a divorcee. She's like a Balaschov. Why? Because a Grusha, she can't stand the husband. She's not letting that go on to any sir. Hechedami. Idlo Nikito Ksuba Biode Ksuba B'maigavya. If she doesn't have the Ksuba, so how's she collecting? Elolav Dinokto Dinikito Ksuba. The answer, she has the document proving that she's owed the money. Ugrusha la barachuli. A Grusha will not let the loan go, the debt go to her ex-husband. Even though she can't tolerate it, the man's an honest man, her ex. So the ex is what? There's no ksuba, there's no document, and the ex admits that he owes the ksubas. Even 25 years past, 100 years past, the debt is still owed. Rav Nachman Yitzchak Toni. Okay? Rav Nachman Yitzchak Toni, Rav Yehuda Bar Koza. Rav Yehuda Bar Koza, the Mastis learned in the Braisa, the Bei Bar Koza, in the Beis Medrash Bar Koza, Tovek Suboso Harei Kibitchilo. This? Meaning, let's say 5 years passed, 10 years passed, and she comes and she asks the husband for the ksuba. The moment she asked, the clock starts over again. We say 25 years passed, she didn't ask to be paid. After 25 years, it's gone. We say that it's waived. But if, let's say, in the interim, she came and she says, I want the ksuba. She lodged her that that she's a creditor. Then it starts out. But if she has the document, she can keep quiet all the years. That she didn't destroy the document is an indication that what? That she's owed the money. Sholach le Rav Nachman bar Rav Chisda Rav Nachman bar Yaakov. Here, Rav Nachman bar Chisda sent a question, but they have the same first name. Rav Nachman, the son of Rav Chisda, sent a shayla to Rav Nachman bar Yaakov. Ilamdeinu Rabbeinu. Teach us, Rabbeinu. Shtar ksu biyotzim tachas yodo. Machlokes. In the Mishnah, we say that if the ksuba after 25 years past the machlokes remain the chachomim, is that if she does she have the document? Does she have the document? The chacham say even with the document, 25 years the ksuba is waived. That's the shayla. Yotzik tachs yoda machlokes. The machlokes remain the chachom. Ukshein shtar ksuba yotzik tachs yoda. And secondly, who do we rule like? Do we rule like Rameh or do we rule like the chachomim? Sholach lei sent him. She'ein shtar ksuba yotzik tachs yoda machlokes. The machlokes is where it's not documented. That's like the halacha. So if there's a document, it's never waived. We rule like the chachomim. Okay. Ki also Rav Dimi Omer Shimon Pozi and Reb Shua ben Levi. When Rav Dimi came, he said name Reb Shua ben Pozi, name Reb Shua ben Levi, Mishum Bakapor Lo Shana Elo Mono Masayim. This is very important. When we say after 20 years, 5 years, the ksuba is waived. If there's no document, that's going on the base ksuba, right? If you marry a widow, it's 100. You marry a virgin, it's 200. The woman doesn't collect after 25 years, it's gone. What about if the husband obligated himself to give her more in addition to the actual base number? She's a regular creditor. Ksuba, it's 25 years. Anything in addition to that, she's a regular creditor. Rebbe Vo says name Rebbe Yochanan, afilu tosefes na'inlo. That even the additional amount that the husband obligated himself, 25 years past, she waives it. Rav Evo said, name Rabbi Yanai, Tnai Ksuba Kich Suba Domi. Because he says that anything which is part of the Ksuba takes on the same status as the Ksuba. So if the Mishnah says after 25 years the Ksuba is waived, anything that's included within the Ksuba, it's waived. Itman Nami Omer Rababa Omer Rav Huna Omer Rav Rababa Slim Rav Huna Rav Loshani Lemono Mosayim. What's waived? It's only the base Ksuba, the 100 or 200. Up to Sevish Yeshlo Omer Rababa Rav Huna Omer Rav Hochi Omar. So Omer Rababa Rav Huna Omer Rav Hochi Omar Le Ishtiken Kamrit O Ashkin Kamrit. He says, is that really what he said? So the question is, did he say remain silent? Did Ishtiken, he wanted to silence this position? Does he argue? O Ashkin Kamrit. Omale Ishtiken Kamina. Meaning, he said, no, what I mean to say, not that I'm agreeable with it, I actually take issue with it, and I don't agree with it. So we rule halacha. We rule that even the Tosefis is waived. Even the additional amount of money is waived after 25 years. Now, Gemara tells over an interesting story. Chamse de Reb Chia Aricho. The mother-in-law of Reb Chia Aricho, that's what he's called. Intzis Achva Havoy. Yeah, this his mother-in-law was married to his brother. That happens. Two brothers, one marries the daughter, his brother married the mother of his wife. Okay? And this mother-in-law, his mother-in-law was a widow in her father's house. So what does it say in the Mishnah? That a woman doesn't collect the ksuba for 25 years, the ksuba is gone. Okay? And she was na'amod beis aviavoy, v'zone esev chamishnin, bebeinosha. And Reb Chia, he would bring his mother-in-law, yeah, hamazonos. Yeah, he inherited his brother. Reb Chia Aricha inherited his brother. You had the case. He brought her food. I mean, she was in her father's. It's a very interesting story. If she's in her husband's house, even 25 years past, the ksuba is not waived. Why? Why? Because factually, if she's getting mizonos, really, she feels it's not proper for her to say, I don't waive the ksuba. It's like you're being an ingrate, right? Really, she didn't want to waive the ksuba, but she remained silent. But silence is not an indication. But let's see, she was in her father's house, right? She's in her father's house. Why shouldn't she say it? You're not giving me anything. So why did she say something? So she remained silent for 25 years in her father's house. That's an indication she waived the ksuba. In her husband's house, there's no proof because she's being supported by her husband's family, right? From the estate. So listen to this. So this story is here. Reb Chia Aricha inherited his brother. So who's controlling the estate? The son-in-law of the mother-in-law. The mother-in-law is in her father's house, and he brought her food, her paycheck once a week, once a month, okay, into her father's house. The sof over lay havdi mizoni. Hear this. Afterwards, she says, I want you to continue supporting me. Omar lo les loch mizoni. He says, you don't get mizonos. 25 years, you don't get mizonos anymore. That's Rameir. She says, havli ksuba. If I don't get mizonos, pay up my ksuba. Omar lo mizoni yisloch lo ksuba yisloch. This is the son-in-law speaking to the mother-in-law. You have no claim not on support and not a claim of ksuba because 25 years passed. Tavati lidino kami de Rabba Bar Shilo. Hear this? So his mother-in-law took him to the Bezdin. To Rabba Bar Shilo. Omale emoli izu gufa da uvda heichaba. So he asks Reb Chia Aricha, tell me exactly what happened. What's going on? Omale zanisa esem b'chamishnin b'beinosho b'chaye demar b'kasvoy amtilo. He says, I brought her mizonos for 25 years, and I would bring it to her father's house. I carried it on my own shoulder. I delivered it personally. So why do we say that as long as she's her father's household, why does she collect the ksuba? Right, forever? We say out of embarrassment, that's why she's not asking for the ksuba. If you're supporting her, how does it look to you? She'd ask for the ksuba. So therefore, silence is not an indication that she's waiving it. Over here, if you brought her every day, every day you would bring her her sustenance to cover expenses. Wasn't appropriate for her what? To say, I want my ksuba. Zil havlo. Hear this? So he says, therefore you have to pay the ksuba. You have to pay the ksuba. You have to pay her. Lo ashkach. Hear this? He says, I'm not. He didn't listen to the psak of what? Of Rabbi Shila. Would not listen. Didn't accept the psak. Kosav lei adrachto anichse. So what? He wrote a letter of confiscation to court that she has the right to locate his asset and take the ksuba. Osla kami du Rava. So he came before Rava. Now, Reb Chia Aricha had two assets. He had the assets, his own personal assets, and he inherited his brother. What's the lien to the ksuba? The assets of the brother. So now the Rabbi Bar Shila writes a document that you locate assets of Reb Chia Aricha, you could confiscate those assets, the equivalent of the ksuba. That's the way the document's written. We'll see in a moment. But the document, we'll see, wasn't written properly. Oskami du Rava. Omale chosi mar hechi denan. Hechi donoch. He says, let's see, how did he rule? What did he rule? Omale shabbat donon. Donoch, he ruled properly. You have to pay. Meaning Rabbi Shila said you have to pay. You have to pay for the ksuba. Omrale. Ihochi lezel hadu li peri. Diminahu yoma arhidno. So if that's the case, he has to reimburse me for all the payers that he ate until now. Off my properties. Omalei. Achvili adrachtech. He says, show me the document. Show me the document. That's the document that you're going to seize the property. Hear this? When Rabbi Shila wrote the confiscation document, it didn't say from the properties of the deceased. He says you have a right to collect from the properties of Reb Chia Aricha, but it's not true, because you can only collect from the properties that will lien to the ksuba. His properties, not all his property will lien to the ksuba. He has his properties and he has the properties he inherited. He says Rabbi Shil didn't write this document properly. It was an illegal document. He says, if that's the case, let me collect, when you put out the Yomei Achrasto, yeah, you put word out there because you want to get the highest value for the property, okay? So let me collect from the time that it's up. I mean, let's say they put it out to bid for 30 days, 90 days, whatever, to get the highest price. So he says, if the document was written correctly, you have a right to collect after so many days from the asset that you're going to seize. But with the original document wasn't written properly to allow you, to authorize you to seize property, less than, but you have no claim. This, even though it didn't say explicitly in the document, we say achreis to sofer. What does this mean? Let's say I purchase a piece of property from you. Everybody, when you buy property, you always want to buy it with a guarantee. Why do you want to buy it with a guarantee? Because if the person sells you a piece of property and it's liened, and the creditor takes the property, you want to be reimbursed. Let's say the guarantee is not written in the document. Even though it's not written, we say it's the equivalent of an oversight of the sofer, and every document is equivalent as if it's written in the document. That's called achreis to sofer. The guarantee, it was an oversight of the scribe, and therefore you have a right to collect from the lien properties. Okay. So let's say the same thing here. When he wrote the confiscation document, it was the equivalent, even though he didn't write in from the assets of the deceased, right? It's assumed, right? Omale lo Rava. So Rava, you see, she was a little bit of a Talmud Chacham. This widow. Rava says no. Well, in this situation, we don't say that's an oversight. Because here the whole document was written, it was a mistaken document. Who savar hani vani didei? He had understood that both assets, you have a right to collect from his assets. So what are assets? Whether it's his assets or the assets that he inherited. Mali mahani, mali mahani. So the whole document is a faulty document. You can't say achros to sofer. In truth, Rabbi Shila believed that you have a right to seize even his property. V'loi zimin de ozlo mishapcha lehu. U'dabai lemirsi mechasvi. V'omar lo, shkol di doch, v'havli di dig. V'osel lafuki lazo beidino. What's the case? Well, what's this mean again? 1 second. Right? Who's of Hanivani di day Mali Hanovi Zimin de Oslo Mishabcho Luhu U the Bailim Chaspo. V'omar lo shkol di doch. Not sure what this list piece means. I think originally wrote that you can confiscate either property. You know what's going to happen? Her property, the property that was liened, that one she's going to make a capital investment. The what's his name's property, udebaylo mechasvi. So the shamu lobezno udebaylo mechasvi shlo yashbichem hayoresh shu batuach sheyarzav yikach eshalo miyodo pli sheli meshubedloch. Yeah. 1 second. What's lafuki laz al beidino? Right here. What's going to be? The brother inherits the property. She didn't come to collect the ksuba. Where is he going to invest the money? He's going to invest the money in his own property, not in the what's his name's property, not in what he inherited. Why? That he's going to deplete, because he thinks, look, she has no claim on me, on my property. But if the court's going to take that property, I'm going to get it back. I'm going to take it away from her. The other property, she has a right to. You know what I'm going to do? Until she comes to claim it as a creditor, I'm going to bleed it. So what is she going to get? She's going to get something which is almost worthless. It's not even going to cover. So they're going to say in Bezdin, see the way Bezdin treats a widow. So as a result of that, we said this document wasn't written properly. They had a right specifically that the property, which property you have a right to seize. It's the property of the estate, not the property of the what's it called? Yep. How does he explain it in just the last piece? Just that last.
But it's not so. The document of seizure may be written against inherited fields only for the
Right.
Permitted to seize the owner's properties. It might sometimes occur that she will go and improve them. So a little bit the opposite. While those of her husband's estate will be allowed to deteriorate. He will then say to her, take your deteriorated property which pledged to you as a tupa and give me my newly improved property. Either will thereby suffer a loss and people will come to these carrying them back to court.
Okay. Okay. Now we're going to start next parak. Okay. Shnai Dainik Zeros. There were 2 Dayanim in Yerushalayim, which means they were judges regarding decrees. They were official. They were like the Supreme Court justices of the Jewish people in Yerushalayim. Shnai Dainik Zeros, Yerushalayim. Who are they? Admon Mechonon, Ben Avishalom. You have to remember the name. Admon was one, and Chonon, the son of Avishalom, was the other. Chonon Omer Shnei Dvorim. Chonon had said 2 things. Admon Omer Shiva. Admon said 7. We'll see in a moment. Shnei, Admon Omer Shiva. Misholach Lemidin Sayam V'ishto Tavas Mizonos. Hear this. A man travels overseas, and the woman has to be supported. So how does she get access to the purse? She doesn't have the purse strings. So she goes to Bez Chanan Omer, Tishove Besov Tishove Betchila. Meaning initially when she goes to take the mizonos, the support, she doesn't have to swear. Yep. That she didn't take anything. Because the question is, maybe she already siphoned some off. You know, she does not, initially she doesn't swear, but if eventually he dies and she wants to collect the ksuba, she has to swear that she didn't take anything previously. Initially, when she wants to get support, she doesn't have to swear. But at the end, when she wants to collect the ksuba, if he should die overseas, then she has to swear. What does she swear? That she didn't take anything illegally. There was a court of high priests. They argue with his ruling. She has to swear both initially to get supported, that she didn't take anything of her husband's, and when she wants to collect the ksuba, she swears a second time. Reb Dosa ben Hirkins says, like the Bezdin of Kohanim Gedolim, she says twice. She swears when she wants to initially be supported, and she swears when she wants to collect the ksuba. Reb Yochanan Zaka Yofa Machonon. Reb Yochanan Zaka, he rules. Chonan said correctly, Lo Sishova Ela B'Sof. Meaning, initially when she wants to collect the support, she doesn't have to swear. But eventually, when she wants to collect the ksuba, if the husband should die, she has to swear that she still owed the full value of the ksuba, that she didn't take anything previously, which would be deducted from the ksuba. So, how many judges were there in Yerushalayim? It's a shnei dainig zeros. There were two. Remini, we learned the Braisa, shlosha dainig zeros, gezelos. Yeah, verse not gezeros, gezelos. There were three judges who adjudicated all questions of gezela, of theft. Who are they? Admon ben Gadoy, that's Admon in the Mishnah, although he's referred to as Admon. Hanan HaMitzri, so that's not in our Mishnah, that's Hanan ben Avisholom. Hanan ben Avisholom. So here we have, in the Mishnah we only mentioned two. In the Braisa we mentioned there were three. So were there two or were there three? Kasha Tlasa Train. Here it mentions there were three, and the Mishnah says there were only two. Secondly, Kasha Gzeres Axelos. The Mishnah says they would Daine Gzeros. They would legislate decrees. And it says in the Braisa, they were Dayone Gzelos. They adjudicated cases of theft. Versus Bishlam Tlasa Train Lo Kasha. That the Mishnah mentions two and here it mentions three, that doesn't bother us. The Choshev Lei Ketoni, Lo Choshev Lei Lo Ketoni. The Mishnah only mentions the most prestigious of them. Who of the three, who is the most prestigious? Admon and Chonan ben Avisholom. El Gzelos, Gzeros, Axelos, Kasha, but are they Daine Gzeros? Meaning they were Dayanim oversaw issuing legislating decrees, or they were Daine Gzelos, adjudicated cases of theft. Omer Rav Nachman Yitzchok goes in Gzeros al Gzelos. Hear this? They would actually legislate penalty against the person who actually stole. It was a gzeira against someone who stole. Kiritanya, kitmanati was a certain type of tree. Rabbi Yossi Omer goes in gzeiros shebushalayim omrim. Those who legislated this penalty in Yerushalayim, netio bashnosa shtei kesef. If it was a sapling which was only a year old and somebody's animal damaged that tree, you pay 2 kesef. 2 kesef means 2 more. Okay? Bashtei shonim, if it's a tree which is 2 years old, it's no longer a sapling, arba kesef. Remini, it says shlosha dainig zeros Yerushalayim. Admon v'chonan v'nochum. Now we have another bar. It says Nochum was the third. The Braisa we said before, who was the third one? There were 2 Chonons. There was Chonan ben Avisholom. There was Chonan HaMitzri. He was saying the third judge was Nochum. Nochum was the third judge. No, Norman, Nochum. Amrav Papa, Mantan and Nochum. Who's the one who says Nochum was the third judge? Reb Nosson, that's Reb Nosson. The Tanya, Reb Nosson Omer, Af Nochum Amodi, Megozik Zer Shubshalayim Hoyo. For the Hodul Chachom, the Chom, they argued that's not true. They argued on the fact, who was the third judge? Was it Chonan HaMitzri or was it Nochum? Someone says, Suleka? You mean to say there were only 3 judges? Listen to this. Sholosh Shmeos V'Tishim V'Arba Batidinim Hoy B'Shalayim. There were 900, you hear this? 394 Batidinim were in Shalayim. And each Bezdin was comprised of 23 Dayanim. Could you imagine how, you know what I mean? This is Sanhedrin Ketana. There were 394 Sanhedrin Ketana Yerushalayim, but how many shuls were in Yerushalayim? Kenegdon Bote Knesios. There are 394 shuls. Bote Knesios, so Rashi will Bote Knesios for davening. Uchenegdon bati medrashos, and there were 394 bati medrash. Yeah, that's to learn, more advanced. Uchenegdon bati sofrim, there were 394 chadorim. You hear this? Elementary schools in Jerusalem. You can imagine what was going on over there. 394 courts of 23, 394 shuls where you daven, 394 bati medrash, 394 elementary schools. Okay? So we see, how could you say there were only 3 dayanim if the 394 courts made of 23 dayanim? So what do you tell me, the 2 or 3? The Gemara says, dayanim tu v'havu. There were plenty of dayanim. The chikam in Agos Exersk were speaking specifically they were designated to issue decrees, to issue knas. That there were 2 or 3. Omer Rav Yehuda Omer Rav Asi, Agos Exersk B'Shalayim Hayunot L'Schoram, you hear this? The dayanim who actually were appointed to legislate penalty, Hayunot L'Schoram, Tishim V'Teisha Monim B'Trumas Alishka. They would collect $9,990 from Trumas Alishka. That's from the coins from the Machzeh Shekel. Lo Rotzu and Mosivim Lem. And if that wasn't enough, they would give him more. Lo Rotzu, what do you mean? You just want to get paid more? You're trying to extort the Sanhedrin? Let's say they gave them, it wasn't sufficient to cover their living expenses. Apish Lo Rotzu Mosivim Lem. Karna Havishokal Istira Mizakai V'Istira Mimachai. This Karna was a dayan, and 2 people come for him for a ruling. He would take a small coin from the one who was ultimately found guilty and from the other one who was ultimately found innocent. In advance, each of you guys got to pay a fee for me to adjudicate. So the Gemara says, "V'doin leidina." So the Gemara says, "Echi over hochi v'oksiv v'shochel lusikoch." I mean, how could he be compensated to adjudicate? It says you're not permitted to take bribery. When do we say it's bribery if he takes from one, not from the other? But here he's charging each of them an equal fee in advance. Yet the difference is, why can't you take from one? Because you may favor one defendant over the other. That's the reason why it's called shochet. It's bribery if you take one. Karna came to shochet with their value, but since Karna took the fee from both of them, there's no question of favoritism, that he's going to lean towards one more than the other. And if you're not going to favor any, you're permitted to take a fee to adjudicate the case. It says you're not permitted to take bribery. Is it you're not permitted to find the guilty party innocent and the innocent party guilty? It says you're not permitted to swerve the judgment. Even to find the innocent one innocent and the guilty one guilty. That's if you take it as bribery. He took it as a fee. Look, I'm wasting my time. I'm not taking it from you because I value either of you, because I'm taking a fee for my time. So says, is a judge permitted to take a fee for his time? For your service, a person who gets payments, Mishnah in Bechoros, to adjudicate a case, Dina B'Telim, because you're not permitted to take money, a fee for doing a mitzvah, right? You're not permitted. So there's a mitzvah for you to adjudicate. You can't charge a fee for your service. Hani Mili Agar Dino. That's where you're taking a fee for your service. Kana Agar B'Teil Havishokil. You hear this? Meaning, Karna had a livelihood. He had to cover a livelihood. If you're not going to allow him to pursue his own livelihood, you know something? He's out of work. So you're only compensating him to be available to adjudicate the case. So you're not paying him for the adjudication. Here, Norman. So Mar says, "V'aga b'teil mishori v'atanya mechur hadayin shenoto schar lodun." It says it's considered unbecoming if a dayan, it's inappropriate to take a fee. Elish dino din hechnev ilay ma'aga dino din v'atanya. Anot schar lodun din b'teilov. If you take it for your service, your judgment is not a judgment. Elaga b'teilov ktoni mechur hadayin. It says it's inappropriate. Hani mili. B'teilod lomucha, kind of b'teilod lomucha, havishoko. Why? Davitoi ba'mabro dechamro v'yovli zuza. Hear this. Karna was an expert wine taster. And it was known, he was known. He would actually just smell this fragrance of the wine. He would tell you what quality of wine. So all of a sudden, he's being a dayan. His time is invaluable. That means it was known he was giving up, and he was sought after. He's giving up his livelihood to do this. He has to be compensated. The reason why it's inappropriate for a regular judge to take it, even if he's taking for his time, not for the fee for the service, because people say, look, he's taking for the service. So therefore it's inappropriate. But Karna, being a person who was the expert wine taster, so to say, people understand, why is he doing this? The answer is the man has to be compensated. Doing this, that means he's losing a fortune of money, because he's taking off time from his livelihood to do this. He said, you know something, if they would ask him to oversee a case, Rafuna had a field, and he had to work his field. Yeah, and he had to water the fields. He says, you know something, you want me to oversee the case? Have somebody replace me and work my field, to irrigate my field. So it was clear. It was just, it was a trade-off. You want me to be, I can't be in two places at one time. So he's not charging for his what? For the service. But rather, the field has to be watered. See how blinded are the eyes of people who take shochat. Why? We're talking about medical. No medical insurance. Person has an eye problem. Norman. No see rofe, and he gives a fee to the doctor to heal his eyes. Suffolk misrapi, Suffolk Emerson. It's not so simple he's going to be healed, even though he paid the fee to the doctor. So the doctor goes, and even when he puts in the Medicare, he may actually blind him. Not only won't he get his vision, he may be blinded. Shnamar, excuse me. The judge takes a Shavah Pruta, doesn't mean physically evil. Taking bribery, it blinds the people who could see, meaning it takes away your impartiality. You're totally conflicted. You don't see straight. So if taking bribery blinds the eyes of the wise, so a person who doesn't have to get it, definitely he becomes totally. It causes the words of tzaddikim to become corrupted. Where they're corrupted. Are we speaking of these people? Are they qualified to be dayanim? If a man's in Russia, we have to talk about that he's not qualified to judge. It's pashut. When we say afilu chochem gadol, the guy could be the leading Torah sage of the generation. Before he passes away, he's going to sit on the court, and his heart is totally shut down. His sensitivity to make evaluation totally shut down. I feel tzaddik I mean, what's the old tzaddik? A tzaddik is because he has focus. He gets it right. That's why you do everything right. When he sees something, whether it's right or wrong, he is able to make the evaluation. The tzaddik takes shochad, he'll have confusion, and because of that confusion, he's not going to be a tzaddik. How does he explain tiruf hadas? Confusion. Just on to turn the page, just on top of it. Confusion in the mind. Okay. Yosser Abdimi Omar. Yosser Abdimi Omar Dorash Rav Nachman Bar Kohen. When Rav Dimi came, he said, Rav Nachman Bar Kohen, he darshan, Ma'idich said Melech b'mishpat Yamid Oretz. It says a king through justice will establish the land. Vish Trumos Yarseno. But a man who takes truma, he will destroy the land. What's it? Imdom a dayan lamelech. If a dayan is like a king, sheinot tzorach, a king means nothing, right? So if a dayan is totally independent, he takes nothing from anybody, Yamid Eretz, so his judgment is going to be a correct judgment. Vimdom a kohen shemachazal agronis yersen. But he's like a kohen, has to go to the granaries to get his tithes. So he's always looking for handouts to judge. So what does that mean? That means he's bribery. Then he will destroy the land. There's no justice. Everything's corrupt. Omer Abba Rav Shilo, Haidanu Shol Shilto, Posel Maiden, Dino. A dayan who borrows things from others, he sees disqualified. Why? Because he owes everybody a favor. People lend him things, he's disqualified. That's only if he doesn't lend others. Let's say you have an agreement. You lend me, people are neighbors. They lend one another. So if they lend back and forth, that means he's not beholden. But if he only borrows, doesn't lend, Aval islay la shule lesson bo. But if he has to lend, he doesn't lend. No. Marzini, but Rabba shol shilto mitvei bar Marion. Rabba would borrow from Beimar bar Marion. Avagav lo shaili minei. Although they didn't borrow from him. Hoslach shvinu hu the boy. That the reason why they didn't Hosam lach shvinu hu the boy. Why did he take from them? Because he wanted to value them. How does he explain that? It's not that he needed it. He only did it to give them that worth. How does he explain the baby? Yeah. So it's not that he did it for himself. He did it for them. So you gave me nothing. I did it for you. Right. Omer of my time, it is shochta. Just end with this. Why does shochat? What is bribery corrupted the judge? Kevon the kabel le shochta mine ikrovlo daite legabe. If once you receive something, that means you've lost your impartiality. You're subject to his view, and you're like him. Vein odem rochov la'atzmo. A person can see a fault within himself. My shochad shuchad. The word shochad means you become one and the same with the mind of that particular defendant who gave you the bribery. To be continued.